Chris, and he's going to show us how to build a circuit in the multisim.
What we're going to do is get our power source. So we go to sources, power sources, and AC power. Place that here. Then we change the voltage RMS value to 3.55. And then the frequency we are changing to 100 hertz. Next thing we do is we get the resistors out. Resistors go to 1.5, which I already put. Your first one. Then we get 4.7. Put that there. For this one, we have to rotate it clockwise. And then place it there. Next step is to get our oscilloscope out. Right here. And then connect all the wires. Part we have to get our ground out. Which is right there. Okay. Then next step is to do the voltmeters. So we go to indicators, voltmeter, and get vertical. And then we place them here. And get a second voltmeter, indicators. This one's going to be right there. Okay, and that's, oh yes, we have to change this. It doesn't show that. Okay, and that is how you make the AC circuits. Alright, so now we're going to measure the voltage peak to peak for the voltage source. I'm clicking on the oscilloscope to the right here, and we can see that it is set up from peak to peak for the y-axis, which is the voltage, and it shows it for channel A to be 10 volts. Next, we're going to measure the RMS value. To do that, we go here. The RMS value is 3.55 volts. Then the period. For the period, we do to the oscilloscope, and then we put the periods through each wave, and we see that the period is 10 milliseconds. And then to measure the frequency, we do 1 over 10 to the negative 3, and then we get 100 hertz for that. Next, we are going to measure the voltage peak to peak across the R2, which is this oscilloscope on the right. And, sorry. Okay, move it over. There, we can see it there. Okay, so now we set peak to peak like this to the Y min and Y max. And we can see for channel B, it is around 8 volts. The next part we're going to measure is the RMS value. which is the same here, just 3.55. The next is the period. So we go back here, and then we do Ymin, Ymax here, and we see the period for channel B is 10 milliseconds. And then we measure the frequency by dividing that by 10 to the negative third, which is 100 hertz again.
Hello, I'm Maria, and today I'm going to show how to build an AC circuit. First, I'm going to use two resistors. One is 1.5 kilo ohms, and the other one is 4.7 kilo ohms. The 1.5 kilo ohms I'm going to set first, and then the next 4.7 I'm going to set it second. Also, I'm going to use small wires so I can connect the power, and another small wire for the ground. We'll need another two more grounds, another power here on between. Oops, power on between, and I guess I'm done. I probably need one more small power. We'll fix this one quickly. There you go. One more power. Next, I'm going to connect the function generator. One is for the power, and the other one is for the ground. Make sure it makes a good connection. Also, I'm going to connect two probes. One will be on channel 1, and connect it to power. Second probe. No, this is second probe. So second probe goes to from the resistor, next resistor. Next, I will connect these two cables. One is for ground. Next one is for the power, in order that I can read the RMS in the circuit. Next, I will connect these two cables. One is for ground. Next one is for the power, in order that I can read the RMS in the circuit. Now I'm going to show you old school how to measure voltage, peak to peak, voltage RMS, period, and frequency. For measure voltage peak to peak, we take the voltage peak multiplied by 2, which is about 5.25 voltage peak multiplied by 2, it is 10.5 volts. For the voltage RMS, we take our 5.25 volts peak multiplied by 0.707, and it gives us a voltage RMS of 3.711 voltage RMS. Okay, now we're going to measure the period, which is 1 over frequency. And in this case, we have 2 volts per division. So we start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 volts, 5 squares per division multiplied by 2 volts. It is 0.01 equals 10 milliseconds. Now for measuring frequency, we measure is 1 over period, which is 1 divided by 10 multiplied by 10 to the power of negative 3, which give us 100 hertz.
To measure it using the new school way. So we're going to go to measurements, and for our peak to peak, we're going to go to voltage, go to voltage peak to peak, and it is 10.5 volts. For our RMS, we are going to go to voltage, and go to VRMS, and it shows us 3.72 volts. For our period, we are going to go to time, hit period, and then it shows us a 10 milliseconds. And also for our frequency, we're going to go to time, frequency, and it's at 100 hertz.